I can't do it. Like, it's laughable. You're laughable. You're stupid. I will crumble and implode like that, because that is what life is about. Hi there. How you doing? Oh, sorry. I actually don't care. I don't know what this like Mean Girls persona is that I just adopted. I don't know what it is. It is 7 a.m. July 9th, the day before this video is supposed to go up, and I have to leave for work in an hour. I was going to just accept defeat and not upload this week because I've had to work all week, but I couldn't. I have to create, I have to produce video making is my passion. No, but mainly my skin kind of like breaks out in hives and I become a nervous wreck if I don't upload once a week these days, because if I can't remain consistent and upload one measly video a week, then how am I supposed to ever achieve anything in my life? And I should just quit while I'm ahead, because I'm a loser and a failure who will never achieve any of her goals. So today I'm going to be going over my current TBR. These are just books that I want to read, not for a video, not for anything content related, but just simply for pleasure. Ribbed for her pleasure. Why did I say that? But yeah, we're just gonna be talking about cool books that it's probably gonna take me like 11 months to get started reading. First up, these are a few books that are on my TBR but are reserved for like a certain video or something like that. So Valley of the Dolls, Convenience Store Woman, Crying in H Mart, You Exist Too Much, Such a Fun Age, 7 Days in June, Severance, Shoko's Smile, The White Album, and Eve's Hollywood. I have a lot more like memoir and a bit nonfiction, but I have to go to work, right? I told you that. I have to go to work. I sounded like my grandmother when I stuttered. My mom's like, why do you stutter? Like, I wonder where that came from. Her literal mother stutters. Like, baby, the calls come from inside the house. Anyway, on this list we have some pretty cool books. They are for cool kids. So if one of these books isn't at least on your list. First up, we have I Want to Die, But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki by se-hee. I believe this is a memoir, an intimate therapy memoir. Yeah, I think this is a memoir, more so like her transcripts from her therapy sessions over like a certain amount of time. Part memoir, part self-help book. Listen, I read the quotes, I read a few excerpts. Does not seem self-help. It's not giving self-help. This book is widely successful in Korea and has been recommended by a few K-pop artists. However, I will say it's the title that drew me to this book, because it's so relatable. Yeah, like I said, it's somehow labeled as a self-help book, but after reading quotes and excerpts, I think it's a book that's actually like very dark and very negative and very triggering, which I think is a sentiment that is important to lean in to sometimes. And I don't pride myself on it. I'm not intentionally negative. I can lean into being so negative sometimes. It's a problem. It's also trauma. Next, we have Eileen by Otessa mosfegh. And this book is about Eileen Dunlop. She's trapped between the monotony and the mundane of caring for her alcoholic father, but also working a job at like a little boys' prison. Is that the correct term? Little boys? She tries to subside these dreary days by fantasizing about moving to the big city. And also meets someone very special, but kind of just like gets into business that she has no business. It's like a world of crime and passion, and it sounds very fun. Okay, about Otessa mosfegh, I put out a video on TikTok talking about like the popular femcel books and why I felt like there was a bit of a discrepancy between them. I said that they were like very revered and loved and recommended by white women, and there's a reason why. I still stand by what I said, don't get me wrong. In that TikTok, which I was not expecting to get any sort of traction ever, but it did. Yay! In that TikTok, I mentioned My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa mosfegh, and people were like, okay, wait, I'm confused. Did you not like it? Did you like it? I like Otessa mosfegh. I like My Year of Rest and Relaxation. What I was saying was that I understand why people might not like it, and that the only reason why I did like it, I think, was because like I really clung to and related to the protagonist's sentiments about, you know, depression and sleep and mental health and stuff like that. Yeah, I like Otessa mosfegh. I love her writing style. I eat it up. I like Otessa mosfegh. Okay, and I really want to read this book, Women in Turmoil, getting into stuff she has no business getting into, like just to feel something. Yeah. Oh yeah, love it. Next on my TBR is Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. This is a historical fiction, and it follows one Korean family throughout, the different generations as they move to immigrate to Japan. One thing about me, if it's about intergenerational historical trauma, yeah. Oh, I'm eating it up. Yeah, give me more. I'm not full. I'm gonna eat it up. It is almost 500 pages. So, my eyes teared up when I read the page count. I'm not kidding. I might just be tired. I'm very deprived. Okay. How does reading a very, very good piece of literature simultaneously motivate you but also crush your dreams? How am I ever supposed to write anything that good ever? Next on my list is The True Believer, Thoughts on the Nature of Mass Movements by Eric Hoffer. This is a nonfiction book. It uses history and social psychology to talk about mass movements and why they gain traction and why people follow them and why they are so quick to rise. Being a psych and sociology student, this is right up my alley. It caught my attention. It's not too long of a read, and I think it's really important to continue to educate yourself on non-fictitious topics and literature even after you graduate. That's it, folks. That's all I have to say about that book, apparently. Oh God, I don't know how to say this author's name.
Michel Houellebecq.
Okay, I don't think that's it. Anyway, next we have The Elementary Particles by Michel Houellebecq. No, let me tap into my inner Parisian that doesn't exist. Michel Houellebecq. Michel Houellebecq. Michel Houellebecq. Michel Houellebecq. Monsieur, madame, please welcome Michel Houellebecq. Houellebecq. Oh my God, okay, this book tells the story of Michel and Bruno. They're two half-brothers, and it's basically their struggles, and plights against modern society. They were abandoned by their mother, who decides to just, be a free spirit, be 60s hippie trash, and, good for her. No, not really. No, they definitely have mommy issues. I think one brother becomes a very promiscuous hedonist, and another one is like a librarian or a biologist or something lame, and he is unhappy. This just seems like a fantastic book. I've been recommended it by my very, very, very intelligent friend. I feel like the author is problematic. Is he? I don't know. What's wrong with him? Oh, okay, so I searched his name along with controversy, and the first article says, Michel Houellebecq, am I Islamophobic? Probably yes. Next up on my list is We Are Never Meeting in Real Life by Samantha Irby. Samantha Irby is a comedian, and this book is basically just essays of her life with very unique humor. They're about dating, they're about self-deprecation, they're about anxiety, they're about identity, and it just seems so much fun. This just seems like a very lazy, easy beach read, vacation read. And next on the list is Close, Music, Boys by Viv Albertine. Viv was the guitarist in the female punk group The Slits. I think she dated Mick Jones, and she also had her solo debut in 2012, I believe. This book is a memoir through her journey of the rock industry, one that's typically very male dominated, and how she overcame that, and how she just became literally one of the coolest girls in the world. This is a cool girl, a cool girl. So by proxy, by definition, this is a cool girl book. This is just, it's just cool, and I can't wait to read it. Yeah, see, her memoir is probably full of cool stuff, while if I wrote a memoir, it would literally, oh my God, this has been toppled over the entire time. My memoir would literally have a line about lip gloss in it. I'd be life is short. Don't worry about boys. Wear lip gloss. Hope that helps. Next up, we have All the Lovers in the Night by Mieko Kawakami. This book is about Ide, who is a freelance editor in her 30s. She's working alone, living alone, and really sees herself as this drab, kind of insignificant character in her own life. Then one day she meets someone, a older man. I believe he's a high school physics teacher. So, hot. I have issues. I do. I think this book is really just about the connections, why we connect with the people that we do in our life, our desire, our very inherent and visceral craving for connections in life, and I'm gonna eat it up. Yeah, thank you. Lonely, depressed woman aching for something in her life. Yeah. Okay, next we have Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I found about this book on TikTok, like I do a lot of things. It's about a coffee shop that gives its customers the chance to travel back in time. However, there are certain conditions they have to meet. They can't leave the cafe, they have to sit in a particular seat, and they have to be back before the coffee gets cold. I think this book just answers the age-old question of, if you could go back in time, would you? And what would you do? And how would you make it significant? I feel like I should wear my hair down. I didn't even realize it was up. And now I'm regretting that decision. Okay. Next up, we have Hunger Makes Me a Modern Girl by Carrie Brownstein. Another memoir, another cool girl, another band. Carrie Brownstein was a member of the band Sleater-Kinney. This book is a memoir about her life in music. Once again, just cool girl, like young, driven, ambitious woman. If anyone who watched my anti-TBR video is watching this, you did not hear me. What am I trying to say? Okay, I said in that video that I would never read this book. I didn't say never. I said never say never. However, I am rescinding that because I have then gotten like so many comments on YouTube and both on TikTok that I need to read this book. And I've read reviews, and the book is A Secret History by Donna Tartt. Okay. Remember what I said, and it's that I never say never. So technically, I don't feel as foolish saying this now, and I just feel as if this book is like I have to read this book. Like, I heard you, I'm gonna read it. I heard you, I'm gonna read it. Next on the list is Down and Out in Paris and London by George Orwell. Oh yeah, would this be considered as a classic? It's old, so it's a classic, right? This book is a memoir, and it keeps the theme of like poverty and life and certain like eccentric, just like workers in the two cities. You know, class discrepancies, the juxtaposition, class, and all that. You know. Yeah, this just seems really good. The only other book I've read by Orwell is 1984. Of course, I read it like last year for the first time. I know, I never read any of these books I never read Great Gatsby in school. I never had to read Catcher in the Rye. I never read any of these books. So, you know, that really questions my high school education and its validity, because what was I doing in English class? What was I doing? Lastly, we have the book Antifragile, Things That Gain from Disorder by Nassim Nicholas. Okay. Nassim Nicholas Taleb. I think the philosophical concept of anti-fragility is very interesting, because I kind of like established myself as a person who is anything but anti-fragile, especially when it comes to things that are like very kind of like viscerally painful and damaging, like tragedy and grief and, you know, like loss and love and life, stuff like that. Anyway, like, I can't. First of all, I didn't even ask to be here. So for me to develop some kind of like resilience, I can't do it. Like, it's laughable, you're stupid, and I will crumble and implode like that, because that is what life is about. This book is about how we as humans can actually gain from disorder and chaos while being protected from, you know, life's fragilities or adversaries. I need to do that. I'm not strong at all. Anyway, so that was my TBR. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any books on your TBR, be sure to let me know. We can discuss and engage and discuss and communicate. I forgot the word. I have to go to work. Keep it hot, keep it sexy, keep it tight. Bye. Maybe I pose like this. This is a book. This is a planner.